In this video, we're going to be putting the Argus PT Ultra through all its paces along with the Reolink base station and giving you a complete review. And at the very end of the video, we're going to be doing all the pros and cons of this camera so you know what to expect if this is something you're looking at for your home security needs. Now, if you're new to this channel, how I usually do these videos is first I show how these things are installed, then I show you all the footage and I run it through all the normal tests, scenarios that you would expect to find in a home security situation, and then at the end I go over all the pros and cons that I found. Now, full disclosure, they did send me this kit, but there is no contract and they're not paying me to say anything, so I can say whatever I want, the goods and the bads. Hey, it's Do-It-Yourself Dad from the future. I wanted to let you know I'm editing it right now, and there is one thing, I don't know if it's a flaw or a quirk or whatever, but it is massive and you are going to want to know about it if this is something you are going to purchase, so be sure you stay tuned to the end. This one's a doozy. Now, if you're not interested in how this whole thing is set up, I will have a timestamp down below so you can see all the footage and how this thing acted in home security situations, and then the pros and cons at the end. If you want to skip it, it'll be down below. But right now, let's kind of talk about what this whole situation is. Now, I've had a lot of Reolink cameras on the channel before, and I haven't had them with the base station. They basically connected straight to the internet. Everything was stored off on the cloud and sent to your phone. Now, my personal preference is to always have a base station. I like having my footage at the house. I like not having to pay for off-site storage, and that's what this provides. So we're going to be setting this up. First, we're going to set up the base station, then we're going to set up the camera. Now, some neat things about these cameras. These are battery cameras, so these do not have to be plugged in. It does come with a solar panel to keep the camera charged. It is a pan-tilt camera 4K with lights, but we're going to see how well all that works in a little bit. Right now, let's get started with the installation. So the first thing we're going to install is the base station. We need this installed before we can hook the cameras to it. And all this goes through the app. Now I've got my phone here and I'm going to do a share screen over here so you can see the entire process as we go along. So download the Reolink app, set up the account, it's free, and then you're going to hit the little plus sign up at the very top. Now, when you do this, it's always going to hook with a QR code, and on the back of all your devices here, there's a QR code. So we're going to go in here and scan that QR code. And we've scanned it. Now, what we need to do is hook this thing to our home network. And lucky for me, I've got my power cable right here. And I've got a Cat 5 cable coming right here. Now, this thing does connect to your home router, so you do need to have a Cat 5 cable. So we're going to plug that in and plug that in. So now this thing is plugged in. And we're going to hit next.
A few moments later.
Now, the first couple times it did say connection failed, and I think that's because I just didn't give this thing enough time to boot up, because now it is doing the initialization process. You can see that over here. And with every Reolink product I've set up, we've had to actually create a specific device password. This is different than a lot of other cameras that I'm used to, but this has something to do with the security and the encryption, I believe. So we're going to go in and set this up and enter a device password. So now my hub has been added successfully. However, on the back of this thing, I can expand the storage with an SD card. What is interesting on the back of this, there's actually 2 SD card slots, and on these ones, you can run 2 SD cards. So now we've got this thing installed. Let's move our attention to this thing. And the process on this thing is pretty much the same as that. You're just going to follow the on-screen prompts. We're going to go back in there, hit that little plus button, and scan the QR code on the back. A little beep tells us we've got it. And with these ones, it is notable that you can use these things as a standalone unit, which means you don't need the hub, it just goes over the internet, and then you put your SD card in the camera, or you can use it with the hub. We're going to use it with the hub. Our next step is to power on the device. On the back here, there is a little flap we need to open up. It's a little waterproof flap, and then we're going to flip that switch to on. Now, I do want to mention I did charge this device before I made the video. There's a little USB port up here, and I've had the thing plugged in. It's chiming on right now, so that way we know we have a full battery.
Please install Reolink app and scan the QR code on the camera. Willkommen bei Reolink. Bitte Reolink app. Bienvenue à Reolink. Veuillez. Benvenuto a Reolink. Si prega Reolink y escanee el código QR en la...
So now that it's told me in many languages to install the Reolink app, which we already have done.
Welcome to Reolink. Please install Reolink app and scan the QR code on the camera.
Okay.
We're
going to go in a circle now. So while this thing's talking, over there and away from my microphone, we're going to go back into the app. Now it's showing me 2 networks. I want to work on the 5 gigahertz network here. and it gives me a QR code on the camera to scan with the camera. This thing is still talking.
Camera is connecting to your router. Please wait.
That shut it up.
Connection to the router succeeded. Welcome to Reolink. Device added successfully.
Everything loves to talk here. But now I've got this thing set up, so let's go out in the backyard and get it hung up, and then we can start with the video testing. And this camera actually mounts with two different brackets. The first one is the bracket just for the camera, and here I'm mounting it in my normal testing location on the back of the house, and this bracket is set up so you can mount it to a vertical or horizontal surface. You are also going to have to mount the solar panel, and it comes with a separate mount for that and a pretty good long wire, so if you have to mount the solar panel further away from the camera, you can do that. And for our first test, we're going to be doing what most people consider the most important test, which is how long does it take to get a notification on your phone. So what we're doing here is I'm standing here in my side yard and I'm going to walk into the detection zone. Now I do not have my phone connected to the Wi-Fi network on my house to simulate what would happen if somebody was around your house and you were not home. So let's walk into the detection zone and start the stopwatch right now. We'll see how long it takes to get a notification. All right, we're at 12.8 seconds, which is not great. It's not the worst I've seen, but it's also not the best I've seen. So 12.89 seconds. Let's try it again on the home's Wi-Fi and see if that changes anything. Okay, so now we are on the home Wi-Fi. We're gonna try it again. Walk in the zone right here, and we're watching our stopwatch. And we're at like 11.67 seconds, which is still about the same and still not the best time I have seen. But I'm gonna try a little experiment because my home Wi-Fi is garbage. Now I'm gonna try a little experiment. My home network is garbage, and right now I don't have the base plugged directly into my router. I have it plugged into a repeater. So I'm gonna try plugging it straight into the router and see if that changes anything. Okay, so attempt number 3, we now have the base station hooked to our router directly. Let's try it again. And actually much better. Right around 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds is when we got that alert. So I guess we just learned that the little repeaters in my house are hot garbage. I kind of suspected. So we're down around 6.5 seconds, which is pretty good. The best time I've gotten out of any camera was actually out of one of Reolink's other cameras. I think it was the last camera I actually had. I'll have a link to that. That was the best time I've ever had. This is darn good though. So now let's try it again at night. Okay, so we're in my side yard. I have one of my other lights illuminating me here, but the backyard is still completely dark. So let's move into the backyard and see what happens. So we're moving into the detection zone now, and I've started my stopwatch. The lights just came on, which means it saw me. Now let's see how long it takes to get that notification. And we're right at about 8.4 seconds. So it seems like it may have been a tad slower than during the daylight, but not by much, maybe about 2 seconds. Now, let's switch into some of the other light modes so we can see if there's a difference between the different light modes. Light just turned off. So now we're standing on the other side of the camera. The camera is right there, and I now have it set so no light should come on. It'll just be using the infrared. So let's do the same thing. We're gonna walk right now into the zone. We are in the zone right now, and timer's on. Wow, that was 3.8 seconds. Which was a lot faster. Now, the one thing is I did cross the camera much closer to the camera, whereas before it was further away. But that was 3.8 seconds, which is actually a really good reaction time. I just don't know why coming from there versus over there had such a big difference. But since we're in the backyard in the dark, now let's take a look at what the image is that camera is capturing when it's recording at night. And something neat about this camera is it actually has 2 different night vision modes. This is the first mode, which is night vision. So this is using infrared LEDs broadcasting infrared light, which is light you can't see with the naked eye, but it illuminates the person. This gives you the black and white image, and this is great if you don't want somebody knowing they are being filmed. The other mode is spotlight mode, and that is using white LEDs that illuminates everything in front of it with white light. And what's nice about this is twofold. One, it tells somebody that, hey, I know you're there, my lights have come on and I can see you, but also if you're using this for a light in your backyard or over your driveway, it'll illuminate things so you don't accidentally trip over the cat. So now with the night reaction speed out of the way, the other thing that's very important to people is the audio. How well communication goes back and forth. Can you talk to the person who's standing in your front yard or your backyard? Can they talk back to you? So now let's do that. This is also a great kind of example because I've got a lot of background noise. I've got a koi pond right over there, so it's gonna have to filter that out as well. So let's see how well it does at that. So this is what the audio would sound like, me talking to the camera and you hearing the audio on your phone on the other end.
And this is what somebody in the backyard would hear with you talking through the camera to them.
Okay, so we've gone through all the normal testing that you would want with a home security camera. We've gone through the reaction time tests, night vision tests, the microphone back and forth tests, and it also kind of showed you the resolution of everything. So now let's kind of boil it down and go over the pros and cons. We'll go over the pros first and then the cons. So first, the pros. So this system as it sells, and they're selling this now as a package deal with the base station and the 2 cameras, is a nice system. It will cover, you know, a couple different accesses into your home. You can put on the front, put on the back, and with those solar panels, it should do a pretty good job. And I ran this thing for a while with those solar panels, and you notice the way I had it mounted. It was mounted on the back of my house. It caught the rising sun, but then got shaded about midday by the eave of my roof. Not the most ideal situation, but I actually like to test them there because that gives an accurate representation. Not everybody can get these things in perfect sun. And it did do pretty well. It was slowly losing charge, but I would imagine you're still going to get 6 to 8 months before it completely dies, and then you can just charge it. Now, if I had put the solar panel in an area where I got 1 or 2 more hours of sunlight a day, it should have done just fine. And that's in my backyard where people are walking past it nonstop, and we're out there at night all the time with the lights coming on. Now, regarding the base station, I really like that it uses SD cards. I've had other base stations that use hard drives where you have to supply a laptop hard drive. Not everybody has a laptop hard drive laying around their house. Almost everybody, at least me, I've got SD cards and micro SD cards everywhere. So they're pretty easy to come by, and they can also be had for very, very cheap. And because it has 2 slots, you can actually put multiple cards in there, so you can get your backups going on the cheap. Now, the base station doesn't support just the 2 cameras that you would get with this package. It can support up to 8 cameras. So if you have these 2 cameras and you have other Reolink cameras, or you want to buy more Reolink cameras, it'll support up to 8. Now, other manufacturers have different numbers, but 8 is a decent number of cameras for a typical household or small business. So it should be pretty much all you need. The cameras themselves had a very good resolution during the day. It is a 4K camera. So what's nice with a 4K camera, it's not just that the image is clear, but it's that it's croppable. So if the person, the bad guy, whoever it is a distance away from the camera, you can crop it in and basically digitally zoom and still have a nicely visible picture. If you're dealing with a 1080 camera or a 2K camera, you can't crop it in as far. You start getting pixelation or more pixelation as you crop in. Related to that, the night vision actually did pretty well too. Now, my experience with night vision on these kind of cameras has been hit and miss because a lot of them tend to wash things out, especially things like faces when they're close up. This one didn't seem to wash things out too bad. Things were still recognizable, so I'd say this performed better than average for most of the cameras in this kind of field that we're looking at. The app itself is loaded down with features, more features than a lot of other cameras, and you can really fine-tune your cameras and what you want them to do. It's not just the detection settings, but you can also fine-tune what time you want things to happen, so if you have certain times you don't care about and certain times you do. And with the base station, you can also set up scenes, so you can have it do different things when you're home versus when you're not home, which is really great if you want to set something up like that. I know, like with our home security system, we have separate settings for when I'm home, so I'm not triggering the cameras as I'm walking around the yard. When we leave, it starts setting us all of the alerts. So that's a really nice feature to have, and it prevents a lot of false alarms or you constantly having to look at your phone to see what's going on. Response times, or how long it takes to get an alert on your phone, were about average for my experience with other cameras. Now, we did show you that glitch. This was actually the first time I've tried using a base station wired to my repeater that's here in my office, and that obviously didn't work that well, which is why I wanted to give it the best chance I could, so I hardwired it straight to my router in my living room. I did mention in the video that the fastest response time I've ever gotten out of a camera is also from a Reolink camera, but it's one that was wireless straight to my router, not to my base station. I'll have a link for that video in one of these corners here. So those are all the significant pros that I think are worth talking about. Now let's talk about the cons. And I did mention there was one major flaw that I saw in this camera that I'm going to talk about in just a second. So with the flaws, what I did notice was there was a little bit of jerkiness with some of the audio going back and forth. And I'm going to show you one of the clips that I got from the audio again here.
Camera.
I haven't really had this experience with every camera, but I've had it with some, and I don't know if it's an issue with my home network or what, but I get this glitchiness in here, and I saw this in a couple of the video clips. Another thing is I wish there was some more options as far as solar panel mounts. Now, the solar panel on this thing, you do need to get direct sun exposure to, so I understand you may have to mount it remotely with that long wire, but it comes with no wire management if you're going to mount the panel right next to it. Now you just have a ball of wire. It would be nice if it had a spool thing to wrap things around. The other thing is it would be nice if you could mount the bracket for the solar panel to the bracket for the camera. That way there's only one thing you're drilling holes into your house for if that's where you happen to be mounting your panel, and that is not an option here. Would be nice if it was. This next thing isn't really a con, it's just a fact of life. I always have people ask whenever I have these camera videos, can I do 24/7 loop recording? And this one cannot. And it cannot because it is a solar camera and it cannot generate enough juice and store enough juice to be able to do it 24/7. You'd have to have a much larger panel and bigger batteries. I have had other cameras that will do 24/7, but they won't go that long. It'll do a couple days and then it's dead. So I haven't found one that will. I'm sure someday one will come along, but it's going to have a much larger panel and a larger battery bank to actually be able to accomplish 24/7 indefinite recording. I did mention the app before as one of the pros, and one of the little cons of the app is there's a lot to it. So it does have more of a learning curve than some of the other apps that I've had because there's so many things in there. So it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. If you just want your camera to set up and run, there's a little bit more things you have to tweak. Once you get in there, you can really kind of tweak on it and make it exactly how you want. So it's kind of a pro and a con. But now let me talk about the biggest, weirdest thing with this camera. This camera is a pan tilt camera that cannot track. That's right, it cannot track. So you can go in there with your thumb and move this camera around, but if it senses you and it tracks you across the screen, this camera is locked in the direction you put it. It will not follow that object across. So I kind of don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't just enable that, except Reolink has several other cameras that do track, and they also have their 180-degree cameras. So if they released yet another camera, a less expensive camera that did track, it would be in direct competition with their other cameras. It's the only thing I can think of because it's just silly to me that this thing doesn't. It certainly could. It has the capability to do it. I'm sure all the guts in the camera can do it, and it could just be a firmware thing, but it doesn't track, and I don't understand why not. Now I will have a link for this camera down below, as well as links to a bunch of the other cameras from Reolink that I've done some work with, along with all the other ones if you want to check that stuff out. Now I hope this video is going to help you make an informed purchasing decision so you can get the right camera and the right security system for your house. We really appreciate you joining us here on the Do It Yourself Dad channel. Thanks a lot for watching.